attacks on federalism. Friends, I think all of us are at the receiving end. All the southern states are at the receiving end. So first of all, I would like to say that we have to fight unitedly. Never before in this 77 years of our independence, the cooperative federalism is at the maximum or the highest attack from the union government. We are gathered here not merely to voice individual grievances, but to collectively articulate our constitutional cry for justice. Our call to protect the federal spirit that binds this vast and diverse nation. I would like to express cooperative federalism is not a choice. It is the soul of our Constitution. These words have echoed across time from the Constituent Assembly to modern debates, reminding us that India's unity lies not in uniformity, but in respecting its diverse regions, languages, and cultures. Karnataka, Tamilnadu, Kerala, and other southern states may be separated by borders, but we are united by our shared commitment to democratic values, social justice, and self-respect. When states share their pain, they also shape the path forward. When we share our thoughts, we shape our nation's future. But today, we are witnessing a dangerous shift from cooperative federalism to coercive centralism. Decisions are being made in Delhi, imposed upon the states. This is not just a policy issue, it is a threat to the very structure of the Indian Union. As a representative of Karnataka, I stand here in solidarity with the other states to say loud and clear, India belongs equally to all its states, and no government has the moral right to reduce us as mere municipalities. The idea of India is not of one center ruling over many states. It is of many states strengthening the union. The Constitution of India envisages unity in diversity, not uniformity imposed from the top. But this spirit is under grave threat, and we must raise our collective voice to defend it. Current broader challenges in federal structure. Today's India's federal structure is facing one of its most serious crises since independence, not because of war or natural calamity, but because of willful political centralization that treats states as subordinates rather than stakeholders. Policies that deeply affect people's lives, from education to health, agriculture to trade, are being framed and pushed without even consulting the states, let alone respecting their views. The National Education Policy 2020, a monumental reform affecting every student, teacher, and parent, was rolled out without meaningful discussion with the states. The 3 farm laws, which directly interfered with agriculture, a state subject, were pushed unilaterally and only withdrawn after farmers across the country, especially Punjab and Haryana, had to sit in protest for over a year. Even during COVID-19 pandemic, instead of empowering states to respond locally, the center hoarded decision-making from vaccine pricing to oxygen distribution, while states were made scapegoats for any failure. The problems isn't just about policy making, it's about how power and money are being withheld to discipline dissenting states. What we are witnessing is not just centralization, but political weaponization of federal levers, be it through financial control, central agencies, or the selective use of governors. The voice of the states is being silenced, and the will of the people they represent is being bypassed. In this, the democracy we were promised. Is this the democracy we were promised? Is this the constitution we swore to uphold? The essence and need for federal structure. India is not just a nation. It is a civilization of regions, a mosaic of languages, cultures, histories, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Nagaland. Every region carries a unique identity, and it is only through federalism that these identities find dignity, space, and representation in Indian Union. Federalism is not a bureaucratic arrangement. It is a very foundation of trust between the people and the union. It ensures that decisions are made closest to the people they affect. It allows states to innovate, to compete, to reflect the aspirations of their people rather than be forced into one-size-fits-all straitjacket made in Delhi. When Karnataka implements Annabhagya, Shirabhagya, or Grihalakshmi, it is responding to the live realities of its people. When Tamilnadu designs its unique education, public health systems, it is standing by its people's needs. These models have worked not despite federalism, but because of their strong commitment. Without a federal structure, a tribal farmer in Chandigarh, in Chhattisgarh, a weaver in Telangana, or a fisherman in Kerala would be reduced to mere statistics in a national policy draft. A student in Karnataka would be forced to learn in a language or curriculum that ignores her mother tongue or history. A welfare scheme that succeeds in one state might be forced to make way for a central scheme that lacks local relevance or reach. Federalism is not a hurdle to development. It is a gateway to meaningful development. As Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, the basic principle of federalism is that the legislative and executive authority is divided between the center and the states, not by any law passed by the center, but by the Constitution itself. The spirit of equality, dignity, equal dignity, equal voice, and shared sovereignty is being tested today. This is why we must assert India is not built from the center down, it is built from the states up. Constitutional debates on the federal structure. When the Constitution of India was being drafted, federalism wasn't just discussed, it was fiercely defended. Our founding fathers knew that India could not survive as a centralized monolith. They debated, disagreed, and finally built a system that balanced unity with diversity and authority with autonomy. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, while introducing the Constitution, clarified that India is a union of states and not a federation formed by agreement, but with enough safeguards to ensure that states retain their dignity, powers, and functional independence. He said the Constitution is a federal constitution in such as much as it establishes what may be called a dual polity. The Constituent Assembly deliberately avoided the term central government. It used union government instead to underline that power flows from the people through their states to the union, not other way around. Sardar Patel was very clear. The states are not in any sense subordinate administrative units of the center. They are sovereign within their own domain. But today, these sacred foundations are being eroded. The center frames laws in state or concurrent subjects without discussion. It controls finances while making states accountable for delivery. Overrides elected governments through governors, agencies, and ordinances. This is not what Ambedkar, Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, or Sardar Patel envisioned. We must ask if there were federal principles debated and enshrined in the Constitution or being violated daily as we still operating within the constitutional morality envisioned in 1950. constitutional provisions related to center-state relations and federal structure. The Constitution of India carefully designed a federal structure that balances power between union and the states, not to create a hierarchy, but to enable effective, inclusive governance. Through Article 246 and the 7th Schedule, it divided subjects into union, state, and the concurrent lists, with a clear intent of giving states control over vital areas like agriculture, health, and education. But today, these lines are being crossed with impunity. Laws are made on state subjects without consent, and central schemes are forced upon states ignoring local realities. Under Article 280, the Finance Commission was to ensure just distribution of resources. But Karnataka, a top contributor to India's economy, receives far less than its due. The center uses cesses and surcharges which are not shared with states to centralize wealth and weaken state capacity. The union government increasingly relies on cess and surcharges which fall outside the divisible pool of taxes under Article 270. These are not shared with states, starving them of funds while center accumulates power and credit. Article 263 created the Interstate Council to foster dialogue, but it lies forgotten. Article 356, meant for rare emergencies, has been politically abused to undermine elected governments. Even the governor under Article 154, meant to act on the advice of the state cabinet, now behaves like an agent of the center, blocking bills, delaying decisions, and interfering with governance. These articles were designed to safeguard federalism, but they are now being used to subvert it. If we do not resist this distortion, we risk losing not just power, but the very spirit of our constitution. BJP, a threat to the federal structure. The biggest threat to India's federal structure today is not a legal amendment. It is a political attitude of BJP-led union government. The BJP-led union government is treating the Indian Union like a unitary state, where dissent is disloyalty and the states are expected to obey, not govern. Federalism has been replaced by a majoritarian mindset, where the center decides and the states must fall in line. And if they don't, they are punished through funding cuts, delays in approvals, misuse of agencies, and political interferences. Welfare schemes designed and successfully implemented by states are being usurped and renamed. The union imposes centrally sponsored schemes with rigid guidelines and no space for local innovation. Karnataka, for example, has run visionary programs like Annabhagya and Shirabhagya, but the center constantly seeks to impose its own branding, making states look like mere implementation agencies. The governor's office under BJP rule has become a tool of sabotage. Obstructing bills and sitting on files, questioning cabinet decisions is seen recently in Karnataka, Tamilnadu, Kerala, and West Bengal. The BJP uses investigating agencies as weapons, sending notices, launching raids, and intimidating leaders of non-BJP states, not to uphold law, but to silence opposition. Even disaster relief and development funds are being weaponized. As Prakash Karat said, Karnataka sought in the year 2023-24, 18,000 crores were sought for the drought relief. But ultimately, we have to go before the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court finally ordered the government of the union government to release 3,454 crores for the drought relief. This is the state of affairs what we are facing in the present system. This is not governance, this is political bullying, and it strikes as the very foundation of our constitution. The BJP wants an India with one party, one language, one narrative, one decision maker. But the India we inherited and the India we believe in is one of many voices, many states, and shared power. Today, with the BJP-led union government, to speak up for the federalism is not just a nest to defend states, it's to defend democracy itself. The time has come not just to resist, but to reclaim. We must reclaim the spirit of cooperative federalism that our constitution enshrined and our founding leaders envisioned, not through silence, but through collective action and united assertion. First, the center must be compelled to honor Finance Commission recommendations. Special and state-specific grants must be released in full. There must be a permanent institutional mechanism to track and review compliance. No more broken promises hidden behind bureaucratic excuses. Second, it is the time to abolish or subsume cess and surcharges into the divisive pool. The center cannot continue to tax in the name of people and deny those very people their share. Number 3, delimitation must not be allowed to become a tool of political punishment. Southern states that have fulfilled their constitutional and demographic responsibilities cannot be made scapegoats in the name of representation. Fourth, the Interstate Council must be revived and made functional, not as a token body, but as a permanent forum for states to deliberate, disagree, and co-create national policies. Fifth, we must demand greater autonomy for states in education, health, welfare, and culture. One nation cannot mean one-size-fits-all policies imposed from above. We must also restore fiscal freedom to the states, allow us to design our own welfare schemes without the burden of matching funds or forced branding under central schemes. Finally, we must build a united front of southern states, not for confrontation, but for constitutional justice. Tamilnadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, we must stand together, speak together, and act together. Let us not forget the Constitution begins with the words, "We the people of India," not "We the center of India." It is time to remind Delhi, this union belongs to all of us, not just those who rule from the top. I would like to conclude, this is not just a political debate. This is a battle for the soul of our democracy. Federalism is not a demand we are making today. It is a promise made to us in 1950. A promise that our voices would matter, our choices would be respected, our people would not be made second-class citizens in their own country. But today, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and other progressive states are being sidelined, stifled, and silenced, not because we failed, but because we succeeded without bowing to the center. The center may have the power of the purse and the pen, but we, the states, have the power of people. And when people speak, no government can ignore them. Let Delhi hear us today. We are not asking for favor. We are not demanding. We are demanding fairness. We are not asking for more. We are demanding what is rightfully ours. We are not begging. We are asserting the very spirit of the Constitution. And we will continue to speak louder, stronger, and together until India is governed not through control, but through cooperation. This is not just about Karnataka. This is not just about Tamil Nadu or Kerala. This is about India's future as a union of dignity, diversity, and democracy. Let us stand united for federalism, for fairness, and for the future of India. Thank you all. Jai Hind.